Welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope everybody's having a great day. I'm going to be giving you 5 reasons as to why you should buy the Tesla Model X. The first thing is the doors. All you have to do to get into the car is walk up to the door with the key fob in your pocket, and check this out. The door will automatically open up for you. Once you're in, oh man, I don't really want to grab that because, I don't have a good back. There you go. There's the solution. Another interesting thing is, as most of you know, it has falcon wing doors, which in my opinion are pretty gimmicky, but they do look cool. So on the key fob, all you have to do, double press on the side here. Falcon wing door 1 opens up. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Not only that, but you can also open and close the driver and passenger door from the fob. 2 clicks on the very top of the key fob opens up the driver door. 2 more clicks, passenger door. 2 clicks on the back, your trunk opens up. Once you're ready to close everything up, all you have to do is press once on the very top of the key fob, and it will close everything. Watch how these doors actually open up. There's a pivot point right there and right there. In reality, you only need about 11.5 inches of clearance to actually operate these doors, which that's pretty practical. Another feature I really love, and I think you will too, is the giant center screen in the middle. Anybody who knows about Tesla knows about this massive screen, and you can control literally anything in the car from this. So you can load up the navigation, you can make it full screen. That looks pretty cool. You can sync your calendar, you can check the stocks. I'm totally kidding, that's just your energy consumption. And then you can even surf the web. You can drag this camera icon down and you can see what's behind you full time. Which personally, I think is pretty safe. Now here's your phone, and then you can full screen your phone. There you go. Another rather interesting feature about this touchscreen is it's not distracting, and here's what I mean. This touchscreen actually works. So if you're driving along, oh man, I really have to see my navigation, so you drag that down, you press that button, it's so responsive. See, it's basically just an iPad. Everyone says, oh, it's like a giant iPad. Well, it is. I mean, it doesn't lag. I've never had an issue with it, and it's just so responsive. Some other really quick features about this is you can control literally anything you want from this screen. The doors, you can open all the doors simultaneously. The seats, you can move them forward and back. The suspension you can change. It's a dramatic change, trust me. You have your lights down here and everything like that. Driving, we have a ludicrous mode, comfort steering, creep mode, obviously. That's when you lift off the brake and the car just starts to inch forward like in a gas-powered car. But I personally like to do this. Let's roll. One thing that I really like about this car is just absolutely how quiet this thing is. I mean, it's an electric vehicle, it's fully electric, there's no gas or anything like that, obviously. But there's no noise. Here, I'll come to a complete stop right here. It's just so quiet. It's kind of eerie at first, you have to get used to it. But once you do, it's actually pretty peaceful. There's people who are like, oh, I need to have a gas-powered car, because that's cool, it's manly. Okay, well, that's you. But there are people who don't need a gas-powered engine to assert their dominance or manhood. But for the people who want a quiet ride and a quiet cabin, oh boy, you got one. Another really interesting thing about this car is the torque you get. You get 920 pound-feet of torque to the wheels at 0 RPM. So watch my speed. Damn. So you get literally ludicrous acceleration. It's absolutely insane. So here is from, we'll do it from a dead stop, ludicrous mode. Oh, jeez. Oh my gosh. It really comes in handy whenever you're trying to get on an on-ramp or something, or, just pass somebody in traffic, pass a slow driver. You don't have to worry about that. Because it only takes 1.2 seconds to reach 60 from 45. So we'll get up to 45 miles an hour and we'll floor it. We'll get to 60 in about 1.2 seconds is what it says. Yeah. So That's pretty accurate. That's very quick. Another reason why I love the ludicrous mode is because whenever you're like, okay, just say, you know, God forbid the worst happens. You know, someone's about to T-bone you, they run a red light, they're about to T-bone you. Cool thing is with this, so, you know, so I'm gonna slow down here, like just as a speed, you know, like, oh, I'm going through my red light. Oh my gosh, I see somebody coming to my right. You can get out of the way really quick and avoid an accident, which I think adds safety. Yes, I never thought I'd say this, ludicrous mode is safe. One important thing to note, however, is I am driving the P100D Model X, which means it's the performance version. If you were to go with the 75D or the 100D, you're not going to get quite the level of acceleration as ludicrous mode, but you are going to get a very, very large amount. The really neat thing about autopilot is it actually works. So I'm going around this turn, the wheel's turning and everything like that. See, my other hand right here, my hand's holding the camera. It works. However, if this light were to turn red right now, this car would not be able to tell. And I don't trust intersections just yet, so we're gonna go ahead and take over here. I'll turn it back on. My only real concern, however, with the autopilot system is the auto steer function is in the beta form, which means you still have to have your hands near the wheel just in case anything were to happen, you know? Autopilot is actually great for annoying bumper-to-bumper traffic. It will actually sense the car in front of you using its radar cruise control. It'll even slow you down to a complete stop. Notice how I'm not even touching the accelerator pedal with my right foot, and it's still accelerating. It really takes the stress out of bumper-to-bumper driving. Tesla says that in the future, this car will be fully autonomous, which basically means you can get in your car, type in the address, and you don't need to do anything else after that. The car will drive you to your destination and even park itself. A massive selling point is not having to use gas. Pretty much all you have to do to, quote, refuel your Tesla is go to one of the many supercharging stations. If you have free supercharging, you plug it in, wait about 40 minutes if you're at a really low percentage, and then you're on your way. You know, you don't have to pay. You just go there, plug it in, and then you're done. If you don't have free supercharging, however, I think it usually costs like either 12 cents a minute or 24 cents a minute, just depending on where you are. Super convenient that you don't have to pay for gas, which, you know, it's sort of a relief after you've spent this much money on a car like this. But, you know, it doesn't pay for itself. You're not going to, you know, gain over $100,000 back, you know, from gas savings or anything like that. You do save a substantial amount of money not having to pay for gas and paying for electricity instead, though. Another thing you can save your money on with this car is brakes. Because it has regenerative braking, you don't have to worry about using your brakes until about 5 miles an hour if you plan it right. Tesla says that you don't need to change your brakes or brake pads or anything like that on your brakes for about 100,000 miles, and I'll be honest, I kind of believe them, because if you drive one of these, you'll understand that you barely, and I mean barely, have to use your brakes. Not only that, but regenerative braking actually charges your car a little bit. It's not a whole lot, but I think you get about like between 5 and 10 miles depending on if your area is hilly. If you have regenerative braking set to low, nothing's gonna happen. Set it to standard and get used to one pedal driving, and you'll be amazed. Maintenance is very minimal for this car. The Model X drive unit only has about 20 moving parts, and if anything were to stop working, you have a 8-year unlimited mileage drive unit and battery warranty. All you really have to worry about is tires and wiper blades, and some battery coolant maintenance. Practicality. So, one reason why these cars are so practical is they only run on battery. The Model X 75D starts at around $83,000 and you can get up to 237 miles of range. The 100D starts at around $99,500 and you can get up to 295 miles of range. The P100D starts at around $140,000 and you can get up to 289 miles of range out of a single charge, all of which have dual motor all-wheel drive. This car is extremely practical because it has 2 trunks, a lot of space in the back, and the doors open electronically. Really neat thing is, all you have to do is click twice on the very front of the key fob, and you're presented with a trunk in the front. And it's actually pretty sizable. This is a Tesla charging bag, and it's actually pretty big. You can fit a lot of groceries and stuff up there. The only issue is it's aluminum and it's extremely light, so you have to really press down and smudge up your car. Okay, moving back to the rear trunk, press twice on the very back of the key fob and the power liftgate opens up. Once you're back here, you actually notice you have a ton of space. I mean, this is a 6-seater configuration and everything. I mean, those 2 seats are down, obviously. But then I'll show you over here, that's a lot of space under there. You can put so many groceries there and then more stuff over there. Now let's get into the back seats. Unsurprisingly, you have a tremendous amount of legroom back here, and that passenger seat is actually pushed all the way back. And these are the monopost seats in the 6-seater configuration. Actually, it's not a bad design, and all the way in the back, there are 2 seats with a surprising amount of comfort and legroom. All of the seats in this car are extremely comfortable and heated. The very front seats are actually heated and ventilated, which is a great touch. By far, in my opinion, the most important thing about a car is safety. The Tesla Model X has a battery underneath the floor, which weighs about 2,000 pounds, which results in the lowest rollover risk of any SUV due to its low center of gravity. The Tesla Model X actually scored 5 stars in every crash test. You actually have a 93% chance of walking away from an accident in a Tesla Model X, with no serious injury to you or your passengers, which is why the Tesla Model X is actually the safest SUV on the road. And that concludes today's video. I really hope I answered all your questions. If you guys and gals have any more questions, please leave a comment down below and I will do my best to answer them. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with all your friends.